Hello, collective, it's Kai. So I'm gonna kind of respond to this quote that I read in Aspire by Kevin Hall, one of my very profound books that I'm reading right now. It's like the type of book that you read and then you don't have to read a lot. Like there's a kind of like real life experience example, and then there's like a passage, and that's kind of the kind of book it is for me. So, a man, woman, they, who becomes conscious of the responsibility he, she, they bear toward a human being who affectionately waits for them, or to an unfinished work, will never be able to throw away their life. You know the why for your existence, and will be able to bear almost any how. Viktor Frankl. So this is if you want to pause it here, but I like paraphrased it sometimes and like changed the pronouns, but I didn't really think about what I was gonna respond, but I just read it and wrote it, and I was just like, wow, I've been kind of trying to figure out what my why is, and this has come during points in time where I recall something and I wonder to myself, like, why do they come up, those things? And I really he didn't bark once. Look at this bro go. Good job, thank you. I still need you to not do that right now, sorry. But no. Hey, you said you wouldn't. Apollo. Now he's running around. Let him do his lap. Apollo, you said you wouldn't. No. Come here. I know. You can go, but no barking. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Yeah, it's my dog Apollo. My little rascal. I think he's almost 8 years. Like, next year he's gonna be 8. You're gonna be 8 and you're still gonna do this kind of shenanigans? But I did tell him it was gonna be short, so there's that. But I really want to do something. I really want to. Oh, he's gonna piss over there. It's gonna smell so bad. Gotta get the fresh air. I can't. But I really want to do something. I really want to apply. I really want to add to the culture there. I really want to do better. I really want to. I'm like in such a place where I'm like, I don't know if I have the strength. I don't know what's gonna be happening around me. I don't know where I'll be. But I think this video is really kind of commemorating that thought. I'm acknowledging there is a lot of fear. I already knew that. I knew it all along, but I didn't admit it. I didn't acknowledge it. I didn't observe that. I had never experienced that. And I think that's the one saving grace, is I've never experienced it. So who am I to know how I'm able to respond sometimes and what those responses truly mean for me? And it's like, I'm not here to shame myself. I'm not here to also not take accountability. But I'm also not here to rush my process, because I'm in my own presence, and I will always be in my own presence. When there are more people around me, yes, my anxiety has spiked. My nervous system is so dysregulated and overstimulated. Like, to such a degree where I literally feel like I can't talk to someone. That blows my mind. That blows my mind. And I'm just like, I can't continue to act like I wasn't like that. I can't continue to try and... It's okay. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I love his ears. But I think that's also a really good point, is I have to acknowledge that I genuinely need to acknowledge those things. I had to go through what I went through, and it had to teach me that I have a lot of emotions, that I love a lot, and that's just the beauty of also experiencing that. I think, though, now I've gained this new level of self-respect and maturity, understanding how I am, how I can't be, but how I wish to be, how I could be, how I also change into being and continue to build that being. And there's nothing that I can truly do except by being myself unapologetically. I'm a Leo rising, and I know that that's something that I'm growing into. It's just really interesting, because that is exactly what I walked away from when it came to piano, when it came to performance. I was like, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be the one on the stage. I don't want to be the only person there. I want to be a part of a collective that works together, and I realized that I'm not the one who decides what contributes the most in an environment. I'm not the one who truly decides that. It's the environment in itself that responds to me. And sometimes they react, and that's okay. I think it's also just crazy because I just had this whole interaction with someone that was very... how would I describe that? Very much in pain. And yes, it became yelling, but there was no fear in me. I felt no fear. I stood for my choice, which was I don't have the space to speak right now, and I was willing to stand up for that. I'm willing to get into a loud conversation with you, or an attempt to a conversation, but really just projections and statements. Not being open to another person. Not being open to another person who's simply being present and has their own perspective is very much not a conversation. And I am experiencing these things in different ways, in different forms, with different I think the whole neighborhood's talking right now. What are they saying? Is it bad? Apparently there may have been a murder in my neighborhood. Oh god, I'm sorry to bring this up, but trigger warning, so just tread with caution in your own discernment. But there was a shooting at UNLV, and that's the school that I plan on going to, and I saw 2 guns for the first time, and I was just like, I wasn't there at the shooting, but I think it is that for me, actually. Like, it's really unfortunate that I think this way, but it is something that came through my mind was, I am going back to school with a different intention entirely. I really feel this draw to know things about this psychological being, the way we behave, and like how we can communicate with each other, even despite our assured differences. And like, I just feel like school's the way that I can, one, easily connect with people and be within a community. That's one thing. But to actually intentionalize my action that has been inspired by many different things. And as I live continuously, I'm being inspired to do this, but it's, thank you, stay. But I forget what was going on. I'm just realizing that in itself is me risking my life. And I'm not saying that this was a specific situation that would have been applied to me. That's not what I'm trying to say. That was a totally entirely different experience, and I can't even begin to describe because I wasn't there. And it didn't happen to me directly. And it's just this energy of wanting to heal so that I can place myself in front of people and have presence for their pain, for their fears, and to actually help. I think that's going to be an interesting journey though, because I know that this isn't the way that I truly want to encapsulate what I want to do in life when it comes to, like, for example, I don't think I want to really be a therapist, but that's kind of along the lines. Maybe counseling, but I don't know. It's just really this sense of love that I have for beings and life in general. And even if you're someone who passes through or that I let go, well, I have to let go. Honestly, I think that's probably been one of my biggest unhealed things is I need to let go. I need to let go. And it sucks, and I was just making space for something else. I have no idea what it's gonna be, but it's making space at least. That's all I know. Not right now, Apollo. And I really think I have to go with this just in my heart. This feeling that I know. And just to go into a space when I feel like I can contribute, I can do better. It's just about whether I'm gonna choose to. Oh, it itches. That's not nice. But even with that, I wanted to just send my regards to the heavens, the ethers, that I'm here and I am trying my best. I know there's things you put in front of me that I have to take responsibility for, and I'm just gonna be here with you, and that's it. So I hope maybe this kind of inspired you in your own way, because we all have our own struggles and we have our own challenges, and that's why we are so different and yet the same. I wrote this yesterday at 16:35. There's a thin line between being and understanding. I'd like to think there are ways to be the very little thing that separates me is the ability and inability. What is the deed if not undoing? The cathartic silence that comes from no longer the concept of self. Such a shame to put so much importance on such unimportant things. That's pretty deep. I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna start talking about my YouTube more. I feel kind of like not ashamed. I'm just like, what did I say? I just talk. I just talk. I'll just say that. But yeah, I think it's best for me to just continue. And then maybe if I choose to apply, I'll apply. I just feel like a conversation's gonna happen and I'm afraid. Oh, and I'm also still grieving. Okay, that struck a chord. Anyways, I wish you the best on your spiritual journey. I send you so much love. Stay safe out there. And it has been Kai.